Hey everybody, I wanted to add another video that has to do with auto detailing and mainly goes out to a lot of the auto detailers out there and to anybody else watching this. This could kind of go down to things that you may face in life, but they're all interconnected. And that's more about what is your attitude whenever it comes to facing challenges. And since I'm basically an auto detailer, this kind of goes to auto detailers out there. What are you positive? Are you negative? What are you like on an everyday basis, especially not just to customers, but on how you treat things? You know, negativity as a way of coming into our lives to where we really don't notice it, and sooner or later it takes us over. So, as a detailer, what is your attitude on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish? Are you positive about it? Are you negative about it? Kind of the word that comes into mind is faith. Do you have faith? Do you believe that you can actually be the kind of detailer that you want to be? Because you're only going to rise as high as you believe that you can rise. Your potential is only going to go as high as you believe it's going to go. So, you can buy all the auto detailing equipment and decide that you want to do the greatest auto detailing in the world, but if you truly don't believe it deep down, you're not going to do it. If you don't believe it up here, you're not going to do it. You have to believe that you're going to do it. And I understand that there are some circumstances that come up that can make us feel like we're not, to really, really bring in some doubts. If you're a driveway detailer and you're starting to do detailing, but you don't have a lot of money, so all you can afford is little cheap products, and that's okay. I did it. I used a lot of cheap products whenever I started out. And then you look, and the next person next to you that's doing auto detailing, they basically are wealthy, they have a trust fund, or they're just really, really blessed, and all their equipment is spick and span. So, of course, that can make you think, well, what's the point? Why am I even trying to do this right now if, Joe Schmo Detailer over there has got top notch things? And that can really, really play havoc on you. Because you start to wonder, do I really have what it takes? Because look at my competition over there and look at me. Well, the one thing that money and all that cannot buy is how much do you believe? No, somebody else, the next detailer that comes around that has the greatest equipment, the best looking shirts, the best cards, the best website, the best everything, he may not have the drive, the attitude, the commitment, and the will that you have. So keep that in mind that just because things look bad, you got to keep your attitude up. You got to believe that you can do it. Because the same amount of energy that it takes to be negative about, not detailing the coolest cars is the same amount of energy that it takes to be positive, to be grateful to be able to be detailing. Because if you ask me, give me the dirtiest car any day over flipping hamburgers. I'd rather do it any day. And I actually used this advice on me today and it completely changed me. My friend Darren with Auto Fetish Detail, he makes great videos on YouTube. So if you happen to be wanting to get some advice on detailing, go to his YouTube channel, Auto Fetish Detail. He gives real world advice, tips, things like that. But I'm always asking him, hey Darren, can you please make a video on the impossible carpets? Because if you're like me, an auto detailer, you know those kind of carpets. They're basically impossible to vacuum. It's like not even carpets, like cheap felt. No matter how much you vacuum it, nothing helps. So I keep on telling him, hey, can you please make a video about how to do cheap carpet? Because, well, some of us detailers, we catch hell with those kind of carpets. And if you do auto detailing, you know about those carpets. The Chevy Aveo, the any type of Hyundai, Kias, and the worst, the Chevrolet Captiva. Everybody knows about those vehicles if you're an auto detailer. So on me, I can get the carpets clean, just takes a little bit of time. But I'm always, whenever I get these kind of cars, I'm thinking, man, these kind of cars are killing me. Well, today, whenever I got inside of one of them, I stopped and I thought, you know what? I'm spending so much time being negative on these types of details, it's only cursing me. Why don't I spend that much time to figure it out? So I got in there, I calmed down, I looked at the situation, and I realized, you know what? It's only as bad as I make it. I can do this job. And ended up doing it faster and easier because my attitude was there. My attitude was in the right spot. So as you go through wanting to do detailing, it's only as hard as you make it. And I understand that we all get vehicles that we don't like doing because they're just disasters, and we know that a day later it's going to end up looking the same because of the customer. But you're still getting another day to do what you like doing. And then you'll find yourself that once you start focusing on your attitude of things, your attitude, it's going to start showing up in your everyday life. It really is. You're going to start being positive about things because life is too short and life is too good to go around being negative all the time. So once you start just living with focus, with living with a positive mindset, you're going to realize things aren't really as bad as they are. Most of the time, they are as bad as we make it. I understand there are some circumstances, if your car catches on fire tomorrow and blows up and you do not have the credit to get another car, you don't have any money in savings, you don't know what you're going to do, yes, it is unfortunate. It really, really is. But by being negative about it is not going to change the fact. It's not going to bring it back. So you'll be amazed that whenever you do this type of stuff, this type of attitude adjustment, you'll start getting a life adjustment because without realizing it, you're going to start looking at things differently, more positive. You're going to start realizing it's not that bad. So you can either be a negative thinker or you could be a problem solver. Whenever you see something come up, are you going to sit there and just go with the flow of everybody else, or are you going to try to make a difference? If in your town, everybody says, well, you know what? Mobile detailing really hasn't made it in this town. I don't think you should do it. Okay, well, you could look and think, okay, I'm not going to do it. Everybody says it's not going to work. Why am I going to go down that same boat? Or you could stop and think, well, wait a minute, let me be a problem solver. What isn't making it? Why isn't it working in this town? Start to figure it out as to why it's not working. If you're trying to detail a car and for some reason you just cannot get it to come out right, instead of getting mad, stop and think, what am I doing that's not getting this car faster? Because taking 5-6 hours on a car, this is killing me. What could I do that's faster? Maybe change the process that you detail. Maybe change, maybe just change some of the stuff that you use. Because some stuff is harder to work with than others. So instead of just sitting around negative, licking your wounds and all that, nursing them, start to think, what can I do to make this better? Because like I said, it takes the same amount of energy to be negative as it is to be positive. So you're only doing it to yourselves. So in the world of auto detailing, if you want to be in your area or word of mouth through the country for vanity's sake, or you just want to be the best, you can do it. But it all starts in your attitude. It all starts in your thinking. It all starts in how much you believe that you can do it. Once you start to have a focus and a positive mindset every single day that you can, then you can. The only limit is you. That is the only limit. Believe it or not, it really is. And if you say, well, Chris, that's easy to say, this other detailer he has, all he works on is high-end cars, and I'm over here on these piece of junk vehicles every day, and they got good equipment. Yeah, but most of the time, they don't start out that way. They really don't. Most of them start out low-end cars with low prices to get their name out there. And then they kept on moving up. Well, if you say, they moved up, how come they got to move up? Well, first, if those are the questions you're asking, Look at the attitude in which you're asking them. A negative attitude. Instead, think, you know what, man? I'm going to think positive. If they can do it, well, then I can do it. I'm not going to copy their methods, but let me just see what they're doing different than me. Well, their appearance is better every day. Their equipment is actually clean. Because think about it, how many of you detailers out there actually clean your equipment? I mean, like, clean it. Make sure your equipment is clean. Okay? Well, every time I see him, he has a smile on his face. Well, okay. Well, it kind of goes to show that he believes that he could be better. So he's already showing it every day. So, this video is just to show that if you want to make it in auto detailing, it doesn't really start with how good your equipment is, how good a word of mouth is. Word of mouth will bring the customers, but the first thing the customers are going to look at is your attitude. But then your attitude comes down to you. So if you want to get into auto detailing or you just want to pursue something in life, before you actually start to research what it's about, start to sit down and think, do I have the attitude and the mindset and the focus and the determination to really do what it takes? And if you think, well, Chris, cleaning a car is not really that hard. I mean, I see people do it. It's not that hard. In a sense, yeah, it is. You'll realize what it takes to get a car clean, and there's a lot to it. So really sit down if you want to go into the venture, if you're already doing it, but you want to break through some more, then just stop and think, okay, well, I've already bought all this equipment, but I'm at this level. I'm basically doing everything to get to this level on my work, on my equipment, on all that. And I just can't seem to get up there to the next level. I just can't seem. Every time I look, the next detail, yes, but start to look at your own attitude. Start to look at your belief. Because if you start making up excuses as to why you're not going to make it, then you're not going to make it. Instead, put that energy into research. Put that energy into retraining yourself. Put that same energy into making yourself better, and you can become better. Okay? Until then, or until next time, this is Pinnacle Detailing. Just give a few words out there and a shout out to the guy that's helped me out the most, believe it or not, in positive attitude is Darren with Auto Fetish Detail. So you have yourself a great day.